Hello, and welcome back to the Voices of Homeland Language Services. It is our podcast where we pull back the curtain on the language industry and meet the incredible people who make Homeland Language Services thrive. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to have Stella Bautista, our fantastic sales manager. And Stella is on the front lines every day, connecting with our clients, understanding their unique needs, and building the relationships that are so vital to our commission. Together with Stella, we have here our marketing team. It's me, Ksenia, marketing manager, and Seleni, our marketing and customer care specialist. And we are really happy to have Stella here because we're working like together, I don't know, every day. So, Stella, before we continue, we have several questions to you, and we have questions like in different spheres of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's start from the beginning. And it is said that when people think of sales manager, they might imagine a focus on numbers and contracts only. Yes, it's core, but what do you feel is the true essence of your role here at Homeland Language Services?
Yes. So, first of all, thank you for inviting me here in our podcast session. It's been a pleasure and it's an honor. And yes, we've been working every day and for a couple of years now. So, yeah, it was fun. And part of being a sales manager here in HLS is also trying to work with numbers, with data. And I think you guys have noticed like I've been creating reports, working with Excel sheets, Google Sheets, um, and trying to see what is the story under those numbers. So that's the thing that I like about my role is it's never the same thing every day. So you get to see different numbers, and with different numbers with different trends, you get to see what's really happening with our customers, understanding them, being proactive, and making sure that you understand what they need, and being the subject matter expert, we can also give recommendation on what we think is a better workflow solution for their needs.
Great, that's true. And actually, in our case, I mean, our like a company, you're not only the sales manager, you're also and sales operations manager, and I will also say that you have the part of the customer care support, customer success support as well, and that's great. I still sometimes surprised with how much professionals and diverse professionals I'm working. We're like we can do a lot of roles. Okay,
Yes.
and yeah, and talking about this, because we're doing a lot of different things and tasks, what is the most energizing part for you of leading the sales team and sales processes, and what things are making you, I don't know, amazed and you are like always moving forward?
Yes, so in a sales team, each and one of us, we have our strengths and weaknesses. And to be able to work with different people, it's a global company. We are a global company. We share different cultures, different unique qualities that we have. So some are really good with connecting with customers. Some are really good with trying to figure out what was the problem, what's the root cause analysis, and being able to come up with a solution. And I'm always amazed, like We do have different roles, but we're able to collaborate and work as one, as a team, so that we can achieve our goals. So here we have current customers. We have Floor, who's really good with current customers and how she handles her customers. And then we have James, and then Jorge, Facundo. So we all have unique qualities that helps us in attaining our goals. And it's been really successful for the sales team because we've been able to jump. I think we're almost like 100% more from our sales revenue from 2025. So I would like to say congratulations to all of us, and most especially for the marketing team. Like sales and marketing, we always work together, and that's an exciting part as a sales manager.
Thank you. I think that from this answer, we can understand that you are inspired by people around you.
Mhm.
But what else? Where do you get energy for the working day, considering that Stella has 1 second, 4 children? 4 children. I have a cat,
Yes.
and sometimes I can't like make myself be so energetic. What is the secret, Stella?
So I have four kids and I also have a cat. But I like my cat. Her name is Penny. What I like about her is she can go do about her business and just make sure that she has her food, her water, and she's already like great. So I don't really know. I think I work with chaos. Um, so at the time that when I was in Singapore during the conference, that was I think the first time that I've been with myself for a couple of years. Like I've been taking care of my kids because we've been working from home. So that was the first time that I've been myself. I was really thankful, but it was weird because it was too quiet. I had to turn on the television just to have that noise to be able to sleep. So it's really weird. I can't even eat without the noise. So I have to wait for the people to come to the buffet to see a lot of people and hear the noise. So I think my brain works that way. Like I need to see the chaos and being able to resolve. That's it. That's I think that's the inspiration is from. Like I want to solve problems. I want to at the end of the day, I want to ask myself, is there something that I did today that I can be proud of? And I think that's it.
Nice. That's actually a great motivation, and this answer is very crucial, I think. Thank you for sharing, Chaos Lady, Lady Boss. Okay, now let's go a little bit to some professional advices. We know that a huge part of sales is the initial outreach, and
Hmm.
maybe of our listeners, and we will share this podcast also partially on our social media. Um, and we want to show that the interpreter and translator is not the only positions which can be in language services industry. That's why we had the podcast with our Paula. She's our HR manager and psychologist. And today we're talking with you as a sales representative here. So
Hmm.
what can you advise? What, I don't know, for example, one or two advices you have about the outreach to people, maybe to craft a special outreach message, or what should be in the preparation? What do you think is like top two, three advices for this?
Yes. So for outreach, it's going to be always find or do some research before you reach out to the people because sales is not just closing the deal when you're talking to them. It's actually connecting to them and trying to see, is there a way that I can add value to you, or is there a way that I can help you so that we can have a partnership? So for me, I've been in the language industry for almost a decade now. So I started with Gango and then Lionbridge and then here in HLS. So I've seen different customers, different industries, and they all have the same thing. They're working or trying to find a way to solve their pain points. And of course, they wanted to have a proactive partnership with their LSPs. Like, for example, for me, as a sales manager and also an account manager, I would like to see how the translation has been helping your business. And part of that is also it's a gauge for me to see if the recommendation I gave is really helpful. So, for example, I do have a small gaming company. When I started in the language industry, I helped a small gaming company before with translating their games, their mobile games, and that was 2016. And up until today, I can see them in LinkedIn um, still um, creating these games, and I can see they have these awards as top gaming developers, which is for me I'm really proud of because I was part of their company before. I was their partner before, so that was the inspiration. Like, how can I help them grow through language? And with being in the LSP in the language service industry, it's like we're bridging the gap. We're helping communicate. We're um, helping making sure that they understand the whole context. We localize, we translate. Um, Even with the on-site appointments that we have, like we have different types of on-site appointments, and then being to hear the feedback from our customers or even from the patients or the people who is involved in the appointment, being able to hear their feedback, that we were able to help them make their point across. They were really understood. They were able to communicate. I think that's the reward that we get being in the translation, being in the language industry.
Yes, it truly is about growth and being helpful. And
Yes.
to get to that point, let's talk about the
Hmm.
universal experience about hearing no in sales. You face rejection regularly, and what would you
Yes.
say is the secret to staying motivated, inspired, as you say, turning a no into a not right now or even a yes down the line?
So a no is actually a chance to reflect. Like, it's not really failure, it's chance for you to see what are the things that we can improve, why they said no. It's not always about the pricing, it's not always because they have their current provider, but it's looking into our current process. Like, what is our current process right now compared to our competitors? Um, when I started working professionally, I did have a boss. He was a big businessman in Hong Kong. And what he actually told me is that if you want to be successful, you have to look at the top competitors. How are they doing? How are they treating their customers? Like, what's their process? The feedback from the customers. And that's the only way for you to figure out, okay, um, this is the ideal process. And then once we have that ideal process, we will try to customize it and try to fit in based on our customers. So what do they need? So one, do they really need like cheaper rates because of the budget? Or do they need high quality translations? So they do have the budget, but they need high quality translation. But what else? Are they looking into having an account manager that is really responsive? Or are they looking into having a partner that is very proactive and it's giving recommendations, asking for feedback. So I really love asking for feedback because that's the only way for me to know if am I doing this right, or like, give you a reality check. And that's why getting rejection is actually a chance for us to improve our process, our service delivery, or how we communicate.
I also heard that no, it's yes, but later. Like when
Yes,
you keep
and
this in
delay.
mind,
Yes.
yes, yes, when you keep this in mind, it's actually a little bit easier. I remember that from my short but experience with cold calling. It was painful, but I remember
Oh,
this phrase.
the
I
the
know it's
the
a lot of years ago.
SDRs, the cold
Yeah.
callers, they have the toughest heart. Like they I don't think that they don't mind at all, but they still continue even with the rejections.
We can really talk and have a conversation about the industry today without talking about AI. It's a hot topic everywhere, and you have participated in the majority of our advancements as a company here.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the conversation with our clients, how is AI changing their questions or expectations when they comes to us to a language service?
So actually, I would say it was an overhype for AI. So not really everyone is asking about it if you really talk to the customers, especially if it's on site, like depending on the industry. But talking about AI, there's just a lot of nuances, like, ethical, um, is it 100% uh, consistent? Is it really 100% high quality? So when you say AI, and of course, like there are a lot of people that are still trying to develop this AI version of the interpreters, but no one can really replace human interpreters 100%. No one can really replace them, but we can help them develop AI to help us, with capacity, of course, with for example, customer service, multilingual customer service. They do have the AI. However, that AI does not have the emotional aspect. Like they don't have empathy. They can't really solve complex problems. So still, they need to push the button. Okay, I need a human intervention right now to be able to help me. Um, So when we're talking to customers about AI, we would like to ask them, like, what do you think about AI? Is it really going to help you? Or is this just an additional layer of workflow? Because you still need to check your AI, you still need to QA them. So AI won't work without people. You still need the human in the loop component. So of course, I know that there is still a development with the AI ASL interpreter, but they're not that um, successful as of the moment because they still need a lot of data to be able to come up with a very good AI interpreter. And the same goes with audio translator. Uh, it may work uh, 90% for Spanish language, but how about the other languages? So I would say that for the interpreters that we have right now and for those that are listening, AI won't really replace your role, but it can help you improve your role. So how do I use AI right now as a sales manager? It's really helpful because there are times that, with some of the analysis that I uh, do with the sales data, it gives me another pair of eyes when I try to analyze what's happening with our pipeline. So it gives me another pair of eyes. It gives me another analysis that would help me get like a 360 view of what's really happening with our industry.
That's very interesting because yes, with all this talk about AI, some people do worry that it might replace
Mm-hmm.
the human side of it. So it is important that people know that it's not going to completely replace it, but rather
Yes.
be helpful.
Helpful.
Now,
Yes.
yes. Now, talking about the future, imagine a listener is inspired by your career and is thinking about stepping into the sales role. What are the
Mm-hmm.
top three personal qualities that you believe are essential for success in sales?
So, number one, you have to be really curious about everything. Being curious, ask questions. Why? What? How? Just like a 3-year-old, like just always asking questions like, why is it like this? What is that? How does it work? You have to have that mind to be able to see things in different ways, in different perspective. And then next is you have to know how to listen. So listening is a very important skill in sales because it's not just you giving the proposal to the customer. You will not have a very successful proposal if you don't really listen. What do they need? Like for us sales, we're kind of aggressive because we wanted to close the deal, but we want also to make sure that we're giving them the right services, the right, not only the right price, but also the right services, and making sure that we are a good fit for our customers. And to do that, you have to listen. Like, what is their pain points? Always pain points. How can we solve it? Or are we really able to solve it? And then number three is I adapted this culture when I was working with Kengo. We call it Kaizen. It means continuous improvement. Like every day, is there something that I can improve today? That's why I would, or you would, um, hear me say that I've created an automation. Like anything that we can automate, we automate because we wanted to, focus more on the important stuff like the sales generating task instead of focusing on the admin tasks like entering details in the CRM, like, anything that we can automate, we automate. Anything that we can create a workflow, we create a workflow. So it's a continuous improvement. So that also means that you would be asking for feedback from the team. Like, is this necessary? Is this like just an extra work? Can we remove this extra work? Um, I think those are the top three. Uh, Before I started in sales, I was actually in, like, I would say the back office. Like I was a project manager before, simply because I'm an introvert and I'm not really comfortable talking to people. So I'm really scared of the phone. Like every time I hear the phone before I get nervous because I don't want to talk to anyone. But eventually, when I started in sales, the exciting part is that what I mentioned before is that not every customer is the same. They're different. So you have to listen, you have to figure out what's the best solution for them. So every day is a new challenge, a new problem to solve. And that's why I was able to continue my career in sales and going for a decade now. So I think that's it. Those are the qualities that you would have if you're curious or interested to hop on to the sales industry.
Nice. And actually, while you were talking about these three qualities, I was thinking that I need to ask you, and you partially answered my question. Like, I was thinking if everyone can go to the sales, like, can be a salesperson, and you like answered like from the example from your career that you were a project manager and you're an introvert, but still, do you think everyone can work in sales?
I would say there are different kinds of salespeople. So I would say yes, because there's different salespeople. There's the salesperson who's handling the technical staff. There's the salesperson who's always talking to the customers. Those are the SDRs and BDRs that I'm really amazed, like how they talk to people. Like they don't need to, have. For me, before any meetings, I would like have a 30-second meditation and just train my brain that I'm going to talk to another person and it's going to be different personalities in 1 hour, like having to dial 70 people. Like they're amazing. They have a different superpower. um so I think we all can be in sales as long as you know how to communicate. You don't really need to be extra savvy when you're talking to them. Like before, I get intimidated with sales before because I have that assumption that salesperson are really boring people. Are boring people. They're like, they're always in a formal attire doing presentation. Like I thought it was boring, but when you're in the process of sales, there's actually different levels. You're working with different teams, you're collaborating, working with marketing team to get the marketing materials and stay aligned with the campaigns. It's actually very exciting. It's actually very rewarding when we see the result in revenue because we were able to hit our goals because it's not just sales team, it's also a combination of all of the efforts of the operations team, marketing team, the management, the support that they give to the sales team, and that's why we are successful.
Yeah, that's true. When I was younger, I was thinking that salespeople are impudent, like
Yes.
all of them.
Oh, like
Yes. Well, maybe because of my colleagues and my first serious work, but I was like, I was afraid of them, and I'm like, I've never will be in sales. Like, no, never. Yeah, so that's interesting. Um,
yes.
Thank you, Stella, for this dialogue. This was very interesting, and I think we hit our goal to show that there are other great specialists in the language industry, and even sales can suit almost everyone, even some introverts.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that was very valuable and inspiring. And yeah, thank you again that you joined us on our new episode of the Voices of Homeland Language Services. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed our conversation. And I hope our listeners enjoyed our conversation. If yes, please like our videos, leave your comments, and subscribe on our YouTube and social media. And if you know who you want to hear in the next episode, tell us because we didn't find a victim yet.
It's exciting.
Thank you, Stella, again.
Mhm. Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day, girls.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
ladies.
Bye.